So it is time. Let us start. First of all, let me thank you all and take care of the household issues, and let me inform our Russian and Kazakh-speaking guests how they can get connected to the simultaneous translation.
Good day, distinguished colleagues. If you want to listen to the seminar in Kazakh, you need to press the button of the globe at the bottom of the screen and select Kazakh. If you want to join from your mobile phone, you need to press the dots, press the globe and select Kazakh.
Hello, dear guests. If you need translation into Russian, you can hit the globe icon in the top right corner and select Russian. If you're joining from your cellular phone, then first you have to hit the three dots and then select translation and choose your language.
Okay, let us now start. First of all, thank you all for joining. I'm glad to inform you that we have representatives of over 30 universities from Eurasia and Europe, from Asia and Europe, Eurasia overall, and 3 organizations here today. And let me introduce to you our speakers. Today we will have presentations given by Dr. Kerim Kalmenova, the chair of the UN PRME Eurasian Chapter, and also Vice Rector of the Almaty University in Almaty, Kazakhstan, and also Dr. Serhat Burmaoglu, the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences at the Kyrgyz-Turkish Manas University. And they will be giving their presentations on how universities can improve their profiles in terms of ESG, SDG, and ERS. And let me first, without further ado, give floor to Dr. Aygerin. Dr. Aygerin, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Marjan. It is my pleasure to join you today as a speaker on this accreditation seminars. And I thank the organizers, Marjan and her team at KIMEP University. They are raising a very important subject. So thank you for that. And thank you for bringing us all together. It is exciting to be with you today. So let me start with my presentation, and I'll share the screen in a second. All right, I hope my screen is visible.
It is.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Aygerin. I'm the Vice Rector for Global Partnerships at Almaty Management University, and I'm also the chair of the Chapter Eurasia at the UN Principles for Responsible Management Education Initiative. I'll be speaking today about how to achieve the accreditation standards via implementing the principles of responsible management education. So let me start by explaining what is the importance of the international accreditations for business schools. Well, I would say not just for business schools, but for any university. So I see accreditation standards as the quality assurance tool. This is something that we use to check where we are today, as opposed to the regional or international networks. It provides us the benchmarking tool and external evaluation from international expertise and professionals. The accreditations give us continuous improvement, recognition, reputation. We can position ourselves along with the international higher education institutions. It gives opportunities for new partnership avenues, because when you meet a university, you always check where they are in terms of accreditations or rankings to be able to understand the level of their development and the quality of what they offer to the market. It obviously provides some networking opportunities and improves the internal policies and corporate governance. Okay, so I've checked the standards of multiple international accreditations. Given that I represent the business university, I've focused on the business education accreditations because I believe that these were quite important for us. So EQUIS, AMBA, and AACSB are the Triple Crown accreditations, along with some other international accreditation bodies. And I've just highlighted in bold on the slide whether they address any issues related to responsibility and sustainable development. And as we could see, most of them do in that or other way. Some of them call it ethics, some of them talk about third mission, some of them call them just responsible practices. Then I went to see the QS and the Times Higher Education rankings and checked if they have that. Well, obviously the Times Higher Education Impact Ranking, the methodology is built on the SDGs, and they talk about all the 17 SDGs, and when the university decides to join the ranking, they have to select a number of SDGs that they want to pursue and show their commitment. And the QS World Ranking for the Executive MBA, they have a questionnaire when they focus on the UN SDGs and some other sustainability issues, which is great, this kind of confirms my initial idea that responsibility and sustainability is something that of high interest and great importance for the schools. So I wanted to talk a little bit about PRIME, and then I would explain how this kind of embeds into the agenda of the business schools and universities in achieving sustainability and responsibility. So PRIME is the United Nations supported initiative that has been started in 2007. It brings together about 850 signatories around the world, and this is the network that helps to highlight the sustainability in the universities, and it gives tools and opportunities to engage those schools and to ensure that they know how to deal with sustainability and responsibility, and they provide the opportunities for faculty, students, and admin staff to be aligned with the idea of sustainable development, and obviously draws attention to the UN SDGs and the values of the UN Global Compact. So on the next slide, I'll show you the values of PRIME. It gives you the access to resources, to networking. It provides you with some tools for understanding the responsible management, the sustainable goals, and it provides opportunities for collaboration. So there are a number of initiatives within PRIME that would help you understand where you are in terms of the SDG integration. They have working groups. They have this initiative called the Champions, when you can highlight your success. It has special projects focused specifically on students, on faculty, on networking, and they also provide lots of resources on their website to learn more about other schools, their experiences, as well as the world news on how SDGs are achieved internationally. Some time ago, they have prepared this wonderful document called the Blueprint for SDG Integration into Curriculum, Research, and Partnerships. And it's a practical step-by-step guide on how you could integrate SDGs in your daily activities as an educator. And it would actually give you answers of where you are today and where do you want to see yourself and how to actually get there. This one. So in 2021, we have decided to run a separate chapter for our region because we saw the opportunity there, and we saw the need to advance the responsible management agenda in the region and to promote the sustainable mindset. So based on the 6 principles of the responsible management education, we are working on the building partnerships, on building a curriculum, and engaging in research focused on the SDGs. And as of today, we have 11 members from 6 countries that joined the chapter. And I invite you today to consider joining us in this kind of collective effort to bring responsible management education to the forefront and to the and to be able to jointly achieve the SDGs. As an institution, as Almaty Management University, we've been members of PRIME since 2009. So we have shared already 6 biannual progress reports, and on different levels of involvement on the leadership level, on student level, on the faculty level, we have our colleagues who are engaged in the PRIME activity. So within the university, we have this task force that kind of brings everyone together and tries to be these driving agents and the driving force behind the promotion of PRIME. And I would like to stop on each of the principles of PRIME to explain how our university have managed to kind of achieve those things and how do we see those principles. So the first principle is about the purpose. So what you actually do as an institution. And I have 3 examples here. So we have introduced the service learning course in 2015 that brought together all undergraduate students, and that was compulsory for them to go through this course. And we have already counted to up to 60,000 hours of volunteering. Our students are engaged in charity activities, and we are, of course, introducing the SDGs, CSR, ethics, and responsibility into the curriculum. We base our university strategy on the SDGs and how we could achieve them institutionally, or like contribute to the achievement of those. So we believe that the mission of the university is to be impactful and meaningful, and to kind of make sure that all of our operations are for the benefit of society. Looking at the second principle called the values, we have a principle that we usually apply in our day-to-day life, in our strategic activities, which is the triple win principle. We say that the beneficial cooperation between the 2 sides should always benefit the third side, which is usually the society. So the triple win is usually applied in whatever we do as an institution. For the third principle here is the method. This is the way how we do that. So I have 3 examples of 3 different projects that we do at the university or have just completed it. And this kind of helps us to develop our third mission. So as an institution, we have 3 missions. The first one is to teach, which is obviously done by any institution. The second one is the research activity. And the third one is actually serving the community, serving the society. So for the past 3 years, we had a project funded by the European Union and implemented by the UNDP in Kazakhstan to support 90 women from Afghanistan. So they came here for language training. We have offered them cultural studies and helped them kind of grow as responsible leaders of tomorrow. Another project that we have was funded by the American councils, and we do it in partnership with our US partner, Lehigh University. And it had 2 or 3 projects that the students do, and one of them was really a big project on the air quality in Almaty, which is a big thing and a hot topic for everyone in Almaty. And through this project, we've managed to bring together students from the US and from Kazakhstan and make sure that they have this international community and they could learn from each other. And the third project that we did for the past few years was this environmental campaign. This is the idea when people get together and they cross the Lake Balkhash when it's there, covered with ice during the winter. And this way we are raising the awareness of the environmental situation with Balkhash Lake. And it's a good opportunity to check your physical fitness, and also to meet inspirational leaders and opinion leaders and get together for some management training. So for the fourth principle, which is research, and it's also a very important thing that a university should do. I just collected a few examples of what we do in different topics. So the first one is a big thing for us that we do as an institution. We talk about the public trust. So we launched the center, we launched the research that is done annually and then presented every year at the conference. So we bring together government and public figures, NGOs, academia, to talk about the civil society and its development. The second project we have is the NGO Academy. So we've been providing training for NGOs in Kazakhstan on management, on leadership and other things. And that is this is kind of a future incubator for NGOs. And the third topic is social entrepreneurship. So we've been doing a lot of research on that. We have created a platform for people to talk about it. We've raised some funding for extra research and making sure that we actually talk about social entrepreneurship in Kazakhstan. And we have issued this little green book on social entrepreneurship in Kazakhstan, which is available in our library. So the fifth principle talks about the partnership, how the university should be engaging. And I have a few examples how we cooperate with the business. And well, it's not only the business that we should cooperate with, we work with other academia institutions, with the society, and with the government. So we had this big project happening for almost 10 years. We've educated 4,000 students and about 600 faculty, and we brought together more than 150 experts. And this is the project we are doing together with Eurasian Resource Group. It's the leading mining corporation in Kazakhstan. That and this project we see the result today that it brings together 6 universities and 2 vocational colleges in a few regions of Kazakhstan. So we see that transformation of those regions through this entrepreneurial activity that the students are engaged in. They're opening their startups. They have created a number of business cases, and they have lots of business ideas that would benefit for the development of those regions. Over the pandemic, we started this initiative called the Business Life Hacks. So we've been running online sessions for business people who were suffering from the pandemic, and we were helping them with some legal support, IT support, and other consulting opportunities in an online format. We also have lots of consulting projects and research projects and student mentorships and internships with a number of institutions, but here I have an example that we did together with Astana International Financial Center. So moving on to the 6th principle, which is the dialogue. We, as an institution, act as a platform for an open dialogue and synergy of multiple stakeholders. And we have a great facility in terms of our campus. We have this Kaynar Bulak. It's a creative co-working space that welcomes everyone, and literally everyone from the city. And we offer it free of charge. You just log in online, book a room. We prepare everything for your event, whether that's paper, pens, water, whatever. And you can organize your event at the premises of our university. So this is a part of our social mission here. And of course, as a university, we are the platform for multiple forums, conferences, roundtables, and we cover a very broad spectrum of topics, from entrepreneurship to management to green economy to psychology, health sciences, urban planning, and many more. So you're more than welcome to join us. So these were the highlights how, as an institution, we are kind of addressing the prime principles and how we are presenting ourselves. And I would like to share just a few words about what are the advantages for the institutions when they join prime. So the first thing is you audit yourself based on those 6 principles on where you are in terms of sustainability and responsible practices. So you grow when you learn, and you can learn from the other institutions. It's 850 examples of other signatories within Prime Network. You could exchange ideas, you learn best practices, you bring them in, and you share your best practices. Of course, it's an opportunity for networking, research, exchange, and capacity building. It's an opportunity for your students to showcase who they are, and to make sure that they know about the SDGs and they understand that they have to be responsible citizens of tomorrow. It, of course, complements your 3rd mission. It gives you recognition on international, regional levels. It raises your visibility. It helps you when you go through international rankings and accreditations. And how to embed Prime into your day-to-day routine and into your strategy. So again, as I said, you use this reporting as a tool to measure your progress. You have to have at least 1 or 2 people who are very interested in Prime and who are the agents of Prime, let's say, within your university. So they would kind of expedite all the processes. It is very important to embed SDG related courses into your curriculum. It's great to engage faculty and students on the number of initiatives that is offered by Prime. It's great to network and talk to people, the government, the business, and our chapter, Eurasia, offers that opportunity. It's good to do some research on SDG related topics. You could join the I5 project within Prime. And of course, it's very important to do some promotion and networking. I will be delighted to speak to you separately if you have any questions. On the slide, you could see my contacts here. Please reach out, and I'll be glad to explain more about Prime and how to implement Prime, and then how this would benefit you when you get into the accreditation process. So I will finish here, and if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer those. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Agrim. And the first question would be, how difficult was it for you to engage your faculty and administration in starting this process of more responsible management and education?
Right. Well, I think we were lucky in that case that engaging leadership wasn't hard, because it was the leadership who was the driving force behind our engagement in Prime. But it is a challenge for us to engage faculty and students, that's for sure. And it's a slow process. So what we do, we talk about it all the time. We organize events, we organize information sessions, we distribute these leaflets that around the campus, and it is very important to find 2 or 3 people within the university, be it student, faculty, or admin staff, who is also inspired, who also wants to be this driving force, and kind of it's a little network that grows within the institution. So I think communication and networking is the best way to engage those people.
Thank you. I have been to your Kaynar Bulak facility, and it's really impressive.
Thank you.
And it's absolutely mind-blowing that you provide those wonderful facilities for free. And that, I think everybody has a question. How can you run a free of charge facility center for anybody who would like to be there? And how do you administer use of this facility?
So for this facility, we have a designated staff member who is the manager of this facility. So he or she takes in all of the registrations and talks to the people who are coming in. So this person usually is there at the reception desk because someone can just pop in from the street, or someone could call in and prepare in advance. So there is a designated team for that. And I think it's a part of our mission. That's why we have this special budgeting that is kind of designated to those projects. And we strongly believe in networking. And as I mentioned, university is a platform for a dialogue. And only through these kind of options and opportunities, you could provide that dialogue to the people.
Just as a background knowledge, because I think I saw it with my eyes, but I'm sure most of our guests didn't. How many rooms and conference halls do you offer in this Kaynar Bulak?
That's about 10 rooms. But again, it really depends. If it's a big organization and they're bringing lots of people, like we had this initiative called Techno Women recently, and they took our largest conference hall. And so we as partners, we engaged in a kind of some projects, joint projects together. So obviously they needed a bigger facility, but generally this Kaynar Bulak is this -1 floor. It looks like a co-working center or just the what's called breakout rooms. They're relatively small, let's say, but it's always negotiable if you need a bigger room.
I see. And as far as I know, they're equipped with internet and all the other.
Of course, Wi-Fi is provided. We have this furniture that is very flexible. If you need a round table, if you need a theater seating, classroom seating, it's up to you. As long as you put it on your registration, it's all going to be set up for you.
Oh, wonderful. Another question is not about Kaynar Bulak, but about the project that you mentioned with Afghani women. Was it co-financed, or was it also financed from Almayu budget? How did you manage to run? It's quite an impressive project.
Thank you. No, it wasn't funded by Almayu. It was funded by the EU and implemented by the UNDP. And we were just the operators for those two organizations, and we provided the language training for the students. And we had the hardest job among other Kazakhstani universities because we were the point of entry for those women. It was the visa challenges, the flights and accommodation, and their mental moral accommodation in the country, and kind of getting used to the way of living here. That was all on our shoulders and our team, and I think we have managed to complete it successfully. And we see that these students are now studying in other Kazakhstani and international universities, which we are very glad.
I see. Do you keep in touch with them? Do you follow how their lives unfolded? I see.
Yeah, I have them all on my Instagram.
I see. This project about Balkhash, it seems impressive, but me personally, I didn't understand. Well, except for admiring the bravery of people who go on the ice, or no matter how thick it is. What additional insights do you draw from walking on ice on Balkhash? Is it to see whether it's shrinking or increasing it in volume?
Okay, so I think it's something about getting out of your comfort zone. So you are putting yourself against the challenge, physical challenge, to cross the lake on ice with wind on, or with the snowy weather. It depends from year to year. That's one thing. Another thing, you are there with people you mostly don't know, who are business people, entrepreneurs, NGOs, government officials, students. Just imagine, you name it. And it's a great networking tool. So after you cross the lake, you get a hot coffee or a hot cup of tea, and you enjoy a warm facility of the local hotel, and you could network there. And we obviously speak about the importance of kind of drawing attention to the problems that arise around Balkhash. We had our RLC, which is a dying place, unfortunately, and we don't want this to happen to Balkhash Lake. So we want to bring people there and to make sure that they understand the value of this lake and the value of the ecosystem around it. So this is kind of the example of how we, as an institution, we are directly not involved in any environmental studies, obviously, but we could raise the awareness about it and maybe bring those experts who could talk more about it.
I see. Thank you very much for sharing your expertise, and let us now turn to Dr. Serhat, who will tell us and share experience of Kyrgyz-Turkish Manas University.
Yes, actually, we are the early mover, and maybe we are starting very late based on Aygerim's presentation. And actually, I learned many different things, and I understand that I have to ask many other questions to Aygerim. Maybe they will be very primitive for you, but I think it is the most important one to document all these activities, and we have to create a system for that, because I know that every university is trying to do something, especially on behalf of sustainability, but it is the most important one to document it and making it shown or demonstrated, especially and disseminated to other people. First of all, good evening, everyone. I want to give a presentation about our university, and thank you very much for KIMEP University for giving me that opportunity. Our university is this year initiated Prime subscription, and so we are very new for this issue. And I will introduce our faculty and university first, then I will give some examples about what we are achieving in Kyrgyzstan and what are our plans for next steps. Maybe some of you know, our university is established in 1995 with a bilateral agreement between Kyrgyzstan and Turkish Republic. And I am the dean of our faculty, and we have 3 departments and 4 programs. The banking and finance is a program under economics department, and we have 37 academic staff and 682 faculty students, and we have various course-based scholars worldwide. Maybe you will be next year's course-based scholars too. We are open to this kind of applications. And our university is totally, for the undergraduate, 4,669, but with postgraduate students, we have almost 6,500 students here. And all of our programs are suitable to Bologna process. And all our students graduate with 2 diplomas. It is based on that bilateral agreement. And we are one of the leading universities in Central Asia based on the strength of our academic programs and research work. Where we are ranked, our university, actually we are the only one university in Kyrgyzstan to be in QS ranking in the first 1,000 universities. And we are the only one university in the Times Higher Education Impact ranking in Kyrgyzstan. As you may understand, we are actually very sensitive about sustainability and sustainable development goals. And so we want to measure our activities by using green metric and Times Higher Education Impact rankings. And for the academic one. We want to challenge in QS World University Rankings. What is our aim? The aim of our university is not only to educate youth, but also to help them to become conscious, self-sufficient, and responsible individuals. We have a motto of carrying the cooperation in the fields of language, science, history, literature, culture, arts, economy, and sports to the highest level by producing humanitarian values. So we want to be part of PRIME. We have students from 16 different countries and 23 different nationalities. And actually this environment gives us opportunity to be in a cultural diversity environment and benefiting from this richness. We are the only one university giving the education free of charge in Kyrgyzstan. And not only we are not getting the tuition fee, we also give scholarship to our successful students. And we give them opportunity for dormitories and 3-time meal with discounted prices to students. And the official language of instruction are based on the bilateral agreement. It is Kyrgyz and Turkish, but in our faculty, all our programs are 30% English. We have a global vision, so all students have a chance to take Russian, English, German, and Chinese classes as a foreign language during their university education as a selective courses. And by the way, they have opportunity to enrich their speaking practice, and thus they have a chance to be ahead of competitors by learning the most widely spoken language in the world. Actually, our alumni working in 45 different countries. So it is a great opportunity to them for giving them to learn different languages. We promote innovation and technology. This photograph is taken lately. We have a cooperation with an international incubation office. They call it BINA, and they are working mostly on the north part of Africa. And we want to create an incubation center here with the Islamic Banking Fund. And actually, we want to improve the entrepreneurship here, individual entrepreneurship here. And we want to give opportunity to our students while they are in undergraduate education. And we are using different exchange programs, Erasmus with European Union, Mevlana with Turkish Higher Education Institute, and Orhun exchange program with Turkic organization, International Turkic Organization. And we are the coordinator of the Orhun exchange program, who are the member of Turk-İNÜP, Turkic Universities Union. They can be part of our exchange program. We have different laboratories and studios for scientific research, and they can do practical work, and our libraries and reading rooms of the university are available 24 hours, 7 days a week. One of the main goals of our university is to become an international, reputable, productive, and recognized university. Actually, we changed our strategic plan for 5-year strategic plan last year, and we put some pillars in that strategic plan. One of the pillar is internationalization. One of the pillar is sustainability and sustainable development goals. And one of the pillar is doing this work project-based. We have different journals and publications, and the Reforma Journal is our faculty journal, and it is mostly on economics. And we have Agriculture, Veterinary, and Life Sciences Journal, and a Social Studies Journal, and Engineering Journal in our university. What we have, I mean, in practical, do for Prime, at least for the last year, and from now on, we will document it and we will report it to Prime. We have, first of all, university level opportunities. We are the only university in Kyrgyzstan free of charge, which supports the Sustainable Development Goal number 4, quality education. Therefore, we educate the young people in the region who cannot reach education because of poverty. And most of our students are coming from the periphery of Bishkek, periphery of Kyrgyzstan. And actually, we are proud that 65% of students are ladies, girls, and it is very important for us. And we subsidize the cost of meals each year and provide meals to students at 10% of the real cost. Actually, we try to cover our losses with donations. It is very important for us that our students have access to health and sufficient food, which supports the Zero Hunger Sustainable Development Goal. And we have a primary care center giving free of charge health service to all students in the campus with 15,000 per person capacity, and it supports the third Sustainable Development Goal, good health and well-being here. We use 3 keywords in our scientific works: responsible, sustainable, and green in teaching, in research, and in publications. And we have already doing some social responsibility projects, 2 book donation, 2 drug aid, 2 technological assistance, 3 supply aid, 6 education support, 6 visiting activities, and many more actually. Because we are living in underdeveloped country, there are many different opportunities really. So we have to put our hand on the stone, and so we have to do something, not only with educating, but doing something more. We have different student clubs integrated with our campus life, and it's e-lab, entrepreneurship lab, and mostly they are doing social entrepreneurship activities, and Inactus, and BioLife, and the ArcNet, which is for as a charity club, and İnsanlık, Funugu, Agro Progress, and the other one. Our students, as I said before, not only working in the campus, and they can go for cleaning the environment in Atatürk Park, which is almost the biggest park in Bishkek, and for as a social responsibility, we clean the park in 1 weekend, and we are doing this every year. With our veterinary medicine faculty, with contribution, with partnership with French Kyrgyz Ecotourism Association, we start the joint project for the protection of stray animals. And he is our rector, and we visit the children's home with Down syndrome. And we have in our campus 2 artesian wells, and we have created 1 botanical garden, and we call it Turkic Walled Botanical Garden, and we get different species to our campus to create this botanical garden. And by the way, we want to contribute to biodiversity in Kyrgyzstan here. We have 1 greenhouse. It is supported by TICA, and in greenhouse, both our students and sector employees and villagers are given greenhouse training, and a wide variety of plants are grown here. We have hobby gardens, and we established it to integrate the staff of our university with nature to raise environmental awareness and to contribute to the rapid greening of our campus here. Actually, as our rector said, in a place where I am, all students must be fed and safe as in their home. I have worked for this motto in my life and will continue to do so. So we are trying to create this environment in our campus, in our university, and not only doing this to our students, we are doing this the same motto with the staff of our university. Thank you very much for listening me. I think I am ahead of the schedule, so we will have much time for question and answer.
Thank you so much, Dr. Serhat, for your presentation. It was really impressive one. And the first question I'm sure all our guests have is that how do you organize, or how do this process of finding the opportunities to co-fund some of your projects, because they're quite impressive, and it is evident that a university alone wouldn't be able to implement that. So how do you organize the work of finding partners to do these projects?
Actually, we are combined with the citizens, and so there are many different, I mean, our establishment is based on a bilateral agreement. Therefore, the people, especially from the government bodies, different international funding organizations, they are mostly working with us for doing something different, or maybe giving benefit to them. Because we are the only free of charge university, they know and they understand that we are here for non-profit purpose. And so they want to make us as their stakeholder or their partner in their programs. And actually, our funding is coming from Turkish government, wholly funded by Turkish government. And Turkish government is giving this fund for only for friendship. As you may know, in Kazakhstan, we have this partnership in Ahmet Yesevi University too. This partnership is only for friendship, not more. So here, this is a mission for us. And actually, Prime is maybe we have to be a part of this program before, because we are doing this, just not reporting it. And I think this is the reason why the funding agency is selecting us to partner with us to do something.
I see. Me personally, I had a question as well. From what you have shown, you have those hobby gardens, you have the place where you grow plants. Is it that your campus is that big, or do you purchase or find additional plots of land for those activities?
Yeah, this is actually we rent it to our staff with reduced prices, and so we give them opportunity for that. I mean, yearly they are rented it, and after that they can do anything they want there. Just we supervising with our agriculture faculty, our dean of the faculty, they are supervising them how they can breed plants there. And so they learn how to do it, and then breed it, and then consume it. Sometimes they are sharing too. Maybe you can be here, especially at the beginning of July, we can get the results. First results, I think.
So for the rent money that they are paying, they're also receiving free of charge consultancy of agriculture professionals.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And they have a good time with their children, because we have some houses in the campus for staff, and they are living with their families, and so they can use there for some free time activities, and it is very good for them to give their children that opportunity to connect to land, connect to soil. It's a good opportunity for them.
I see. Now I would like to address our guests. I'm sure you have questions. Please do not be too modest to share them with us, because no question is, no matter how you might think that it sounds not smart enough, any question is valuable, and our experts would like to share their experience and help you with those. And while we are waiting for more questions, let us maybe have a kind of a round talk with two of you. And I had a question to Akerim. While Dr. Serhat Burmoglu and his university is lucky to have Turkish government support in doing some of their projects, I think Almayu has more experience to share us how to find additional funding to do the projects that promote ERS and SDG.
Well, good question, Marjan. Well, let's say we are a non-for-profit educational institution. So whatever we earn, we invest back into ourselves and our development. And I think this is the format that is comfortable for us today when we have this distribution of our expenses on academic facilities, content, on the development, and of course on the social mission. So yes, we are being entrepreneurial in a way to fund all of those activities.
I see. We have a question from our guest, and the question is whether Aisha Ahmedbayeva asks, what are the main challenges in promoting PRME standards, and have you experienced them so far, and what are those challenges?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, if I may start, Dr. Serhat, if you don't mind.
Please.
So before we had this chapter created, I started looking into who are the institutions in our region, who are the signatories of PRIME. And I just found out that it's only 22 of them. So apparently it's been a challenge for PRIME to be promoted and to be kind of well-known and recognized in our region. And at first I felt it might be the language barrier that we have to understand what's happening within the PRIME, because it's all in English. But then when I started talking to those schools, it was not about the language. It was about the motivation that the university had or had no motivation in that. So again, it comes always to the point when you have to find those people who are motivated and who have this gracious idea and belief in what could be achieved. So the main challenge is to find the right people, like-minded people within the institutions who would believe in PRIME and who would be able to help you promote those standards in day-to-day routine, in strategic development. Second of all, with probably devoting your work time. This is something that is done voluntarily. So whoever is doing that should expect that they would spend more time and after hours in kind of engaging in that activity. So sometimes it is a challenge for some of them, because when I speak to faculty members, they say, yes, that's a good opportunity, but I'm sorry, I cannot do that now. I have exams happening, I have research going on, or some other activities. So it's the time constraints. Yeah.
What about you, Dr. Serhat?
Yeah, actually, we are lucky about that, because our university is mission university, and everybody knows that they have to contribute whole activities of the university. And based on this, their salary is not only for lecturing, not only for research, and also for public contributions. And they have to do that. And the most important thing for us, especially the challenge for us for now, documenting it and creating the report and disseminate it, because we are doing many things, but only I can show you some of them, because there are many different activities every day, every week. I mean, last week we were in an orphan school, and we were there, and our students give them some exhibitions, and they do something to make them happy. But I can't put that photograph here, because every week we are doing something here, because we have to do that. This is our mission, and the Turkish government give us that mission with partnering with Kyrgyz Republic. But the most important part here we have to learn is the documentation of that and making it systematically. And so for us, the most important challenge is this. And so we want to be part of PRIME and benefiting from this issue, and we want to make ourselves be known in this network with our reports. Actually, the most important challenge for us is, I think, the documenting and making the people writing what they did on behalf of PRIME objectives. Because we are doing much more thing, but we think that it is bureaucracy to write it down and report it to university. So we have to convince the people from now on.
I see. And now that we have 4 minutes till the end of our webinar, I think I will ask this question from the chair of the UN PRME Eurasian Chapter, like what, and it will be a bit tricky one, what are the main benefits for universities joining UN PRME, apart from what you already mentioned in your presentation? And this is the question not only to Aigerim, of course, but to Dr. Serhat as well. So could you tell us a bit about that?
Okay, if I go somewhere outside what I've mentioned already, I would say that joining the PRIME network and joining specifically Chapter Eurasia would add value to what you do. As Dr. Serhat mentioned, documenting things, and PRIME offers a great tool to do that. You put it all in your progress report, and you can do it annually, you can do it biannually, it's up to you, as long as you kind of put those little things and big things that happen with during the course of academic year, and collect that information. So this is indeed a great tool that PRIME offers. Another thing is connecting to the world. I mean, I mentioned that through networking, research, and so on and so forth, but actually going through the reports of other institutions, the activity of the chapter, the activity of other chapters or working groups. They have lots of working groups on different topics, on gender, on ecology, on peace and human rights, and many other things. And this is somewhere where you could showcase your expertise and make sure that your university stands out, you as an expert stand out, and people in the world would learn about you and your institution and your country. So I would say these two for now.
I see. Dr. Serhat, anything to add?
Yes, actually, we want to be known internationally. I mean, we want to be recognized internationally. This is the most important one, because we are doing local things and we want to share with the international people, the international network. As you may know, we are in a network economy, global network system. And so we want to learn from the other network members. How can we do something different? And we are glad to be part of Eurasian chapter, because not everything, I mean, in global sense, it is beneficial for the region. And with you, we can learn different ideas, we can discuss different activities, and we can benefit to our region in Central Asia and maybe Eurasia. We can do something big. And as you may understand, we don't want to be only one university of Kyrgyzstan. We want to do something touching to human and benefiting to human. And so it should be recognized in the whole region and in the world, because not only the developed country is doing something for humanity, actually we are doing something too. And it should be recognized by the international organizations and international community too. So it is very important for us to be part of PRIME, and we want to benefit from this networking power.
Well, thank you so much. Let me add as well, since KIMEP University is also part of UN PRME Eurasian Chapter, I see that it is especially, as you both mentioned, it is especially valuable that we have a group of universities from similar situations from one region, and it is so inspiring to see how other universities do what they do, and to be in constant in touch with them, to know that you can always reach out and ask for advice or support, share the events that you are planning to do, and know that you have the society, a community of like-minded people who are open to your ideas and who are also enthusiastic as you are about developing the region, the people, and the environmental issues of this particular region, and those who also share the same, as I told, history and many other aspects. So I think we are already 1 minute late. So thank you everybody who were here. First of all, thank you to panel speakers, our Dr. Agirim and Dr. Serhat. Thank you for your presentations, for your time. And I would also like to thank all our guests for finding time in your busy schedules to join us here today. This is the last webinar in the series of BCB Accreditation Seminars that we are offering this academic year. Next event will be in the next academic year. We will inform you all about what we will be doing, and please keep tuned, and we will be glad to see you next academic year. We as Bank College of Business and KIMEP University are really grateful for all of you for creating this wonderful community, and we look forward to continue next academic year. See you all, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate for your. Thank you very much.
Thank you.